Hey guys, Sword here, and this is going to be Operation Dome number 24, or 24th episode of the Operation Dome series, where my friends and I are going to be encasing the entire world in glass and glass panes, as you see right there, the wall and the ceiling. So we've gotten some work done. Is that mainly everyone's pretty much preoccupied with school and other things, so they haven't been able to help me out right then, and then I got more hours at work. So it's been a slow progress, but we've gotten some progress done nevertheless. So what's been going on? What I can tell you is that, well, jury duty, of course. It was, I don't know. Jury duty, the day before I went this week, pretty much was the fastest that we've ever done it. We literally got done in under an hour, except for the last 30 minutes where we had to wait for the judge, and then we had to do all the indictments again. We had to repeat them, but overall, it was done in an hour and a half. That was the fastest time we've ever gone and done, and hopefully next week will even be better. Hopefully we'll get less cases, but nevertheless, it's all good. And this is where we left off. We are almost done with quadrant number 1. Is it 1? No. 3. Gosh, I'm getting Operation Dome and Operation Bedrock confused. It's, oh my god. Well, this is quadrant number 3. We're almost done with it. We're almost done. You could see where the big chunk is left off. So again, we have not gotten too much work, but we've gotten a little bit of work done. Mainly, we've been collecting sand, and we've been collecting some more wood for charcoal, so we can make the sand into, well, glass, obviously. And then from there, we will fill up the ceiling, and as well as that for the things that we've actually mined, or dig up. You gotta be proper here. I'm all over the place today. I'm really tired. It's been a long day for me, and I'm still recording this in, I don't know, 2 a.m. Yeah, this is a fun hobby, nevertheless. And I apologize if I keep saying nevertheless, because that's going to be my new sentence filler. I don't know, nevertheless seems like a better word to use. It seems a little bit more fancy if you call it that. I just don't know these days. I used to say as well as, I used to say moving on, I used to say alrighty then, I used to say okay, and now I'm saying nevertheless. It's a cycle, people. Would you rather hear me say or would you rather hear me say something else? I don't know. I always read all the comments. I even read the troll comments, and I even respond to them. It doesn't matter to me. I just find it fun at times. So here is where we've been digging so far. So all of these mountains will be in a field of green. And as well as for the sandstone mounds, we will replace that with dirt mounds so that it'll look... Ow. Really? I don't even know where I'm going. But it's going to be, of course, it's going to be covered all in dirt so that it'll look nice. So once we give you guys the world to download, it won't be just this barren wasteland as you see here. It's just going to be covered up in dirt. But just be careful when you mine down, and hopefully you don't get a creeper nearby, which I highly doubt you're going to get a creeper nearby due to the fact that we've been putting down torches. There's no way for a mob to spawn unless it's underground, so don't go underground unless you absolutely need to. But even then, we already have a little bit of a mine going on in the tree dome, so you're pretty set to go. And the reason why we are actually replacing everything with dirt, 1, it makes everything look nice, and 2, because of all the animals that actually spawn in. So, yeah, like this cow. Turn around. Turn around. I don't know. It's just, for me, I don't like it when the animal actually looks at me before I kill it. Am I the only one? I would rather have them turn around and then I strike them. Not just look at me with that derpy face and then I just strike it down right then and there. I'm not a cold-blooded murderer here. I just kill them when they least expect it. What's up? Oh, I hit a torch. Why? Okay. Boop. There we go. And then the wolfies. Gotta love my wolfies. I cannot get enough of wolves because they look so cute. Just look at that. Tilt, tilt, tilt. It's so cute. I love these wolves. Every time when they despawn, I'm like sad. and I had to go look for more and more wolves. But it's kind of a good deal too, because then I just bring bones to the wolves, and then from there, it looks at, oh my god, creeper. Well, it looks adorable, and then I tame the wolf, and then we're good to go. Okay then. Hello, creeper. I love you. No. Okay. We're good to go. All these pigs, all these animals, we are getting an endless supply of food. And it's nighttime, I just realized that. I really don't want to mess with the gamma rays on these. Wait, not gamma rays. I just don't want to mess with the gamma on this video right now. So I'm going to go ahead and sleep, and then I could wake up and then get to work. And obviously, I am alone here. That's why you don't hear anyone else speaking. Can't wait for summer break. I honestly can't. One, it's going to be slow at business, so we're going to get less and less hours. But of course, I'm probably going to always be having a night shift where I close. But even then, I'm pretty sure that everybody else is going to have their fair share of hours. They have to. By law, they have to. Hopefully I'll go to part-time so I can get less and less hours, because I really don't need the hours. My other coworkers on the other, excuse me, a little bit of a hiccup, like a hiccup and a burp. But anyways, so with my other coworkers, they need the hours more than I do. I have no bills to pay for now. Like I said, for now. If I ever move out, it's gonna be disastrous. A lot of people don't understand this, and even though I've said this a lot, but it costs a lot of money to live by yourself. It's all easy to say, oh, why don't you just move out? Reality, it costs a lot of money. Yes, you could get a loan from a bank, but guess what? You're gonna have to pay that back. And if you don't have a good job, you're not gonna be able to pay that back. And then you have to pay interest. And it keeps on building and building and building and building until you pretty much literally owe your life to the bank. No matter what you do, all that money has to go to the bank, otherwise they'll just keep charging you interest. It's the same thing with a credit card. The only reason, or the only way I actually use a credit card is when I know I could actually pay for it. So if I do live out on my own, I'm probably going to have more than one job. And with that, I would not be able to do any videos. It'd probably be like once every now and then, just to keep up a hobby. So I just don't go insane with all the stress from other works or other jobs. I'm just glad I have one job. I'm glad that pretty much I'm living with my parents, even though people say that is sad. But again, reality check, it costs a lot of money to live on your own, because you got bills, depending on if you live in an apartment or somewhere else. If you have your own house, and congratulations, how much did that cost you? Or how much is that going to cost you? And how long is it going to take for you to pay that off? And then, of course, well, yeah, you have bills, you have utilities, you have your clothing, you have your food, you have your car if you actually get one. Otherwise, you're going to either go on a bicycle or have a public transportation. But once you have a car, the gas, what happens if it breaks down? You're going to have to pay for that. Then you have your insurance. And if you don't have insurance, then it's going to cost a lot more money. But even then, with insurance, you have to pay a monthly bill. And then what happens if you get into, I don't know, like in a medical emergency? Guess what? Medical bills, and you know how much it costs to even get an ambulance to help you out. Whew, my God, it just stacks up. And do you honestly think that $1,000 a month could actually help you out on a minimum paying job? In some other places, they have less than that. In some other places, they actually have more than that, depending on the job you have. But still, just say that you work at a minimal paying job for 20 to 30 hours a week and you get an average of $1,000 a month. Do you honestly think that's going to pay for everything? Especially when your apartment or your house takes half of it, then the insurance and the other car takes the other half. Then where are you going to get the other money? If you get a loan, of course, you're going to have to pay that back. Growing up sucks. And I really don't want to grow up. Honestly, I don't. But for now, just as long as I live with my parents, I live under their rules, which is not so bad. They are lenient. And as well as if they need money, I help them out. I give them money. Because I'm living here. It's all good. And also I have a lot of money saved up, so if I do decide to move out, I probably will be able to last a good, as far as I know, of the rates and all, a good, let's say, 3 to 4 months on my own. That's it. Once that time limit's up, then I'm gonna have to get more money. And then we're back all the way over again. And then if all else fails, then I have to move back with my parents. And then I literally lost everything I've ever saved up for. I've already have friends who actually moved out of their parents' home, and they've only went out for a good 3 to 4 months. And then they ran out of money. They had some debts to pay. And then they moved back with their parents in more of a loss than they had when they were living with their parents in the first place. So if you really want to plan to move out, make sure you have a great plan. And make sure that you have everything ready. Because it is not cheap. Some of the places you could live on $1,000 a month, but some of the places you just can't. I don't even know what's the average daily living where I live, but I really don't want to find out. Really, I don't. I'm just being straight honest with you people. There's a lot of people who make fun of me just because I'm living with my parents and all that jazz, but they don't say anything about them living on their own. And then there's the other people who are just liars no matter what they do. They just want to make you feel bad about yourself. And it's kind of ironic to see that a person that is younger than me bagging on me for living with my parents. And they don't have a job and they don't have any obligations to hold. Gotta love people. Just gotta love people for the attention, right? They will say anything to get your attention. They'll say anything to bring you down. If you ever get trolled, just don't bother with it. What I do, I just respond to them just because I can. Sometimes I have fun responding to them as well. I've even had people who trolled me, and then I respond to them, and then later on they came out, I was like, I'm just messing with you, I'm just trolling with you, no hard feelings, right? And like, yeah, no hard feelings. I had fun responding to you, because it just shows that I could actually defend myself. Even though defending on yourself on the internet isn't all that great of a deal, but just as long as you have the self-confidence to believe on your stance on a certain subject, then you're good to go. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird if I make friends that way. If people troll me, then I respond back and they're like, oh, it's no big deal. And they're like, nice to know. Have a great day. It's like, you too. They become friends. Pretty sure I've actually became friends with a few trolls that way, but I never really talk to them. I just don't. What am I doing now? I don't even know. This is the kind of thing that I really want to do. Like, I really want to make Let's Plays like this, where I don't even focus on what's going on with the game. I just focus on what's going on in my mind right now. That is what I want to do. That is what I really want to do, whether it be Minecraft or whether it be doing a Let's Play. I keep noticing in my other Let's Plays where I pretty much focus on what's going on in the game because I have no idea what to say, and me thinking is like, okay, I'll just talk about what's going on in the game. Even though there's not really much topic about the game itself, but it's just pretty much like its own giant sense filler. Just let me tell you this right now. I think I've already explained it in another video. I can't remember for the life of me. My attention span is not even that good anymore. But one thing I did say is that with my next Let's Play after Legend of Zelda, it may or may not be great. I think it started out well, and then it went downhill for a bit because I had no idea what to say and I got tired, but I still wanted to make videos because knowing me, I'm always stressing out whether or not if I'm actually going to make a video or not. And at that point, there's no turning back where I could start over because that's just going to bring even more stress to me. So some episodes of the new Let's Play after Legend of Zelda may or may not be good, but please keep in mind that I'm still practicing on doing solo Let's Plays. Whether if I'm going to be doing more solo Let's Plays, that's going to be a question in itself that I have to figure out, or if I'm going to have to find another friend who's willing to sit down with me and play video games with me. Because it's easier to do two people going on a co-commentary than it is with one person doing solo. And I'm watching other people's doing solo Let's Plays, and I'm taking notes of what they do and what they say so that I could be that person. I want to be that person that's a little bit more wacky, but for Operation Bedrock and Operation Dome, there is a little bit of the time for wackiness, and then there's more time for just getting on with the commentary. But with the Let's Plays, you don't have to be so serious. Nobody really wants you to be serious in a Let's Play. Would you consider Operation Dome and Operation Bedrock a Let's Play in itself? I really don't know. I honest to God don't know whether or not if I could consider this as a Let's Play. I just see this as me doing work with my friends, making a project, and having fun with it. Of course, with the first 60 to 70 episodes of Operation Bedrock, I was pretty much solo commentary. It's just me talking because I had no idea how to do any of these stuff. And as time went on, I learned how to do more and more things. I learned how to do live commentary because of Diamond Noodle. I learned how to do a little bit of editing with the Adobe Premiere. So with a live commentary and a little bit of editing, I'm doing a little bit better than I was first starting. Especially with my first video, then my Modern Warfare 3 videos, that they were absolute garbage compared to my now recent videos where I had no idea what to say. I kept saying and then of course with the video quality in itself, it was terrible. Black bars on the side, complete lag. I had no idea how to set it up correctly, and there were people who were actually bagging on me because of that. And I even told them, hey, nobody starts out perfect. I was still learning how to do everything out of that current point. And keep in mind that the video was 3 years old, so of course it's not going to be that great first starting out. And then there's other people who actually defended me, and some people actually say, wow, you actually handled that well. It's it all comes with experience because nobody knows what to do at first. That's why you should not actually bag on people or pretty much troll people because they are first starting out. It's a sad thing that a lot of people out there who actually started out poorly, and then they become literally famous to where everybody knows them, and even then they delete their old videos because they don't want to see how they first started out. You can see my very first video on this channel and everything that came along with it. I'm learning. I'm still learning as I'm going along. I'm still learning a little bit of Adobe Photoshop. I'm still learning about a little bit more editing. There's a lot of things I still want to do, but I just don't want to have time to do it. If YouTube becomes my quote unquote source of income, where I don't even have to uphold my part-time job, or I don't know, my actual job where I just call it as, because it's an actual job where I work a certain amount of hours and then I get money off of that, and there's the taxes. Speaking of taxes, I really gotta do my tax return. And here's a tip for you guys. If you make money off of YouTube, you have to report that in your tax return as well, because it is another source of income, and the government will actually see it as a small business. So for those who want to know, YouTube can be considered a business. What you do on your channel, if you're making money off of it, it is considered your business. So this gaming channel is my small business. Sometimes I act way too much on it, where I'm not being personal, but I'm just trying to keep it impersonal as much as possible. If that's the correct word. Impersonal, no. Impersonal. Yeah, impersonal. I'm just being real with you guys. Just one day, if I actually do make it out there, that'd be great. But until then, I am working with this. I'm making videos every single day. I'm making Let's Plays for you guys to enjoy them, to see it's something different other than Minecraft. I appreciate everyone who takes a look at my Let's Plays and posts feedback. Like Miguel. You know who you are. I appreciate all the comments you leave. If that's, wait, yeah. Yeah, Miguel, yeah. You know who you are. I appreciate your comment. I really do. And then there's other people that I appreciate, which I don't remember the names. I am sorry about that. But I do appreciate your feedback. I read all the comments and I respond to some of them. And I can't respond to all of them because if I was able to, then I would literally spend hours and hours upon answering every single one of these comments. So it would take a long while to do that. So what I'm doing here is that I am filling up the glass ceiling, obviously. And there's a lot. I've already dug up around 13,000 sand. And how do I know about this? Because I went onto normal mode. and I've only dug up one sand block in normal mode, so I could keep track of how much sand I've actually dug up, and I really don't want to show you guys the leaderboards now due to the fact that it's going to be reserved for March 31st. So I could show you the real progress in a month time span. So Operation Dome is going to help out a lot. Excuse me. Yeah. It's going to help out a lot with the sand, a little bit of gravel here and there, and dirt. Operation Bedrock is going to help out with the stone, the gravel, the dirt, and the cobblestone. As for Obsidian, that's going to be Operation Bedrock as well, until Operation Blackout appears. Maybe I'll do half of it on easy mode and see if I could actually rank up any more on easy mode. And then the rest will be on normal mode. And once I max out on normal mode, guess what? I'm going to go to hard mode. And if I max out on hard mode, then I'm just going to go on peaceful mode. Because what else is there to do? Just max out on every single leaderboard. This should show how much I've actually played this game. Minecraft is a very fun game. A lot of people argue that it is a kid's game. You can say whatever you want. There's a lot of grown people who play Minecraft casually, and then there's people who make Minecraft videos for a living. If you make Minecraft videos for a living as well, you wouldn't be saying anything else on other people. It's just some people cannot keep comments to themselves. It's one of the first rules you ever learn in school. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Or the golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated, which apparently a lot of people want to be treated badly because they always talk badly of other people. That is just ironic. It is. Just ironic that people would just be so mean, but that's the part of growing up. But it's worse on the internet because of the... what's it called? This anonymity? Cinnamon? I don't even know how to say it. Just the anonymous aspect of the internet where anyone could take up a fake name or a fake YouTube and they just trash on you all day, every day for the rest of the days. They will spend their time bringing you down. It's really ironic. A lot of things that trolls do is just so ironic that you just wanna facepalm every time they leave a comment. You have no life. You don't either. You're spending your time commenting on how much I don't have a life when you're spending your life doing so. You need to get out more. What are you doing on your computer or your phone? I don't know. Get a job. Apparently you don't have one either. I want to know how much you actually make while posting comments. There's a lot of things you could counteract trolls, but even then, some people say don't ever engage in them, because if you do, then you're making the troll win. Ah well. I don't know. It's something that I usually do. I always respond to trolls every now and then. Just because. Sometimes some people are genuinely ignorant to where they honestly don't know what's going on with your life or what you're doing. Then if you respond to them, maybe they'll change their mind. I've changed a few people's minds before, so there's always a hope for humanity if the person actually admits their mistake and accepts the humility that follows along with it, and we could just move on, put water on the bridge, bury the hatchet. I don't know what other phrases there are with that. I honestly don't. Just pretty much, I don't know, live and let live. That's why I respond to trolls, really. I want to see how they react. Again, there's a lot of people who just troll me just to have some fun, and I laugh along with them. Some people honestly think that I actually took them seriously. There's a lot of people who are genuine trolls, and then there's obvious trolls. I respond to every single one of these people. This should show other people too that no matter what they say, they should not bring you down. But it is really hard. You literally have to pretty much adapt to the comments, and as well as to learn to not care so much. And then, of course, this will sound hypocritical because I'm responding to them in the first place. But, nah, it's just whatever. I know how I live my life, and I am happy about it. So if I'm happy, then they shouldn't bring me down because of it. If anything else, it's just their self-esteem is so low that they have to make fun of other people to bring it back up again. What am I talking about this whole entire commentary? I honestly don't know. Have you guys been keeping up? Because I haven't. I honestly haven't. Again, 2 a.m. I'm making a commentary on Operation Dome. And I focused on pretty much like the first 5 minutes or so, focusing on Minecraft, and then the rest of it, just whatever my mind takes me. And let me say this as an advance warning, because I have terrible attention span and I usually forget what I usually talk about or what I have talked about before. So if my Let's Plays kind of sound redundant or at times I repeat the same thing, let me know. Just let me know. You don't have to be mean about it, but honestly, let me know that I've already talked about this before, so I can check that off the list of what are the things I've talked about. But I may bring it up again on another Let's Play, because again, sometimes I just don't remember, or sometimes if there's new people to the channel, I want to talk to them about this as well if they have not seen another video of mine. I just want to know for Let's Players, honestly, how do you do it? Do you honestly actually bring up the same thing more times than one? Just be honest with me. If you are a Let's Player, if anyone actually does Let's Plays, or I've actually seen, like, literally watched every single Let's Play of a person's channel, let me know if they've actually repeated some of the things I've actually said before on a different Let's Play. I want to know. I want to feel better, and I want to know if I could actually do a lot of improvement. Whee! Hopefully I didn't make anyone dizzy. So obviously you could tell all this ice, I've gone to work where I melted a lot of the ice, which I'm going to have to do that for the entire world. And good thing is that since we have a ceiling, the ice won't form back. I can't say the same thing for the wall because you cannot do anything about that. So ice will always form at the very edge of the world, but at least for this side, it's going to be water. And this is nice because you could actually breathe because of the half block that the glass panes and ladders and other things will actually do for you. I need to get some sleep tonight. I'm starting to get, like, what's it called? Congestion, where my nose or my throat's starting to clog up right now. Doesn't help at all that I have to wake up early in the morning to actually go to work too. Whew, like I said, I'm still working. The only times where I could actually make a video is when I get home from work or on my day off. That's where I usually spend my time making Let's Plays. So again, for my next Let's Play after Legend of Zelda, it's not going to be so good. I'm getting more practice, but hopefully another Let's Play, even though it's going to be out of order at this point, but hopefully this one will be as great as I can make it to be. A lot of glass. Just a lot of glass. Even though I turned off the sound for the... what's it called? Well, even then. If I even turn off the sound and music, you'll still hear the sound effect. I don't know why. It's just, you still hear it. So there's nothing I can do for that. The glass panes. And then we go off again. Doggies. My cute little wolfies. I love you guys so much. Oh, you're so adorable. I'm sorry. If you ever invite me to your world and I see a wolf, I'm gonna be distracted. I honestly will be distracted. I love wolves so much. They are so adorable. If they actually had foxes in Minecraft as well, my god, I'm gonna lose it every single time. I'm gonna lose it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna lose it. Every time I see a fox, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, a fox! Must get one! Just every single time. You gotta put that right there. Over here, over here, over here. Also, one person actually did say that I should be a little bit more immature in my videos. let me say this. I will work on it. Be immature every now and then, but then go back to just making a commentary. I'm gonna have to balance it. Keep in mind that I never introduced myself as a wacky channel, a goofy channel, a channel like where I'm gonna do skits and comedy and everything like that. I just introduced myself as a calm person where I just speak to you guys. You probably may have noticed that my commentary has been a bit better when what am I even saying? It's better than when I first started out. Just like I said, I've been reading you guys. I can't even talk anymore. I'm sorry. I've been reading your guys' feedback, and I do take it to heart at times, and then I try to make my commentaries better. It's a work in progress. So let us keep it that way. Let's take our time with it, and hopefully I can make the best channel for you guys to actually watch videos on. Just give me a chance. Just let me work on it. What else is for me to say? Thank you for my friends who have actually helped me out this week. It's Steve X98, SMO, Skullrider Tuomi. He helped out a little bit, then he left. The Slice Seth, Salvi16. Trying to remember more names. I don't think anyone else has helped me this week in particular, but I'm just trying to remember names right now. Some people have been here, they've been gone. Some people have not contacted me in a while. I know who you guys are. Feel free to actually contact me every now and then. That sometimes the connection just doesn't work, but we could try at least. But that's just gonna be the end of this video. Hope you enjoy this video. And I gotta say, it's getting better. The solo commentary thing is gonna get better. At least for Minecraft, because I know a lot of things I could talk about Minecraft, but for the video games in itself, well, it could be easy if it's a game that I'm actually familiar with. I could go on a 30-minute video topic on one thing, but I'm just rambling on at this point. I gotta end this video, I'm sorry. And also I need to go to sleep. Maybe that's why. I'm sleep deprived. This is where I get a little bit more personal. Okay, I gotta shut up now. Maybe I'll talk about this in Operation Bedrock if I remember. So, before I ramble on too much, I'm sorry. I'm SorKeen090. Have a great day, everyone, and as always, I will see you, and we will see you in the next video.